They say the best things come from the worst shit.
Colin Kaepernick, a few weeks ago, we had a couple discussions about this.
Yeah.
And we were, we had one, then we came back to the table and said, look, man, let's talk about this again, because the details of the deal, why are these being not made public?
Right.
So now we know how much that Colin Kaepernick settled out of the NFL. With now this protest started back in 2016, where Colin Kaepernick and mainly Reid, pretty much started demonstrating against police brutality, and racial inequality, and pretty much they kneeled and found themselves off, the team
blackball
and whatnot, blackball from the league, and they pretty much filed suit against the NFL. And we found out now that they only got $10 million. Now a lot of articles are coming out, and we said it before we even seen it. It was like, yo, that's not really a lot of money.
That's not each, that's together.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So they got to split it
right
at the end of the day. So 5 million, we'll say, each. What do you think, Sam, man? Are we shooting too high for this one? Or are we right on with this one? Do you think this is too little money?
This is way too little.
Yeah,
this is way too little. And when we talked probably about a month ago now, we were on Colin Kaepernick a little bit. Like, I mean, I know you said on our pre-production, you were under suspicion, what, 50, 60 mil?
Probably.
I was leaning toward 100. Like, I thought he got the fucking bag.
Definitely.
The way everything was going and the way they were staring on the media. And this is very interesting because we both agreed with somebody that we're also critical with on here, very respectfully critical, Stephen A. Smith, at the time where he was questioning the money. But at the time, if you recall, I said, I kind of questioned where he's going with this. Why are you doing this to this man on the media? So $10 million now that it's out, man, that's not a lot of bread. Now, what it will say is, and what is telling is, one, if he does get back in the NFL, which I still hope he does not do, because we've seen and we looked at his salary for his NFL career, his career earnings of $43,349,296 with a career pay average of $7.24 million, with his highest payout being $14.3 million back in 2016. We also seen him get the bag from Nike. He's doing various speaking engagements out here. What I'm trying to say is I don't think Colin Kaepernick needs money necessarily. He doesn't have to go back to the NFL. Right. If he does go back to the NFL and shuts up and doesn't kneel, because like we played a month ago, he said if conditions were to change as far as police brutality, black oppression, things like that, he would stop kneeling. We had 2019. I couldn't say it changed.
We can look at the number. I don't really believe those numbers that they give us anyway. But anyway, if we would look at the numbers, I would say no.
Right.
Even just, I don't see anything change. It hasn't been changed like that. If anything, it's getting progressively worse. That it is. No real policies have changed anywhere that I've know of with police the way. If anything, you see them getting more and more, being able to take more and more of your freedoms by doing things they do. So I don't know, where this is going, man. Definitely think it's a low offer. Talk about 5 million, a piece. I would at least wanted him to get, his salary times 3 or 4,
right.
Paying, suffering, and being out of the league. And that, I don't know, man. This is, a crazy situation. I do still want to see them protest, though. Because you can, again, bring the numbers. Oh, it dropped 1%, but it's still, 80 or 90 people getting shot by police, a year or something like that, or whatever, the number is. So I don't know, man. I just want to see some progress here with this. And I feel like we haven't really seen any. This money thrown around.
I don't want to see him in the NFL at all. And that's just my personal opinion. You can agree or disagree with that.
Right.
I wouldn't be mad at Colin Kaepernick because, like you said, like we've had a number of people on here, and it would be, he never asked to be out of the NFL. It was taken from him. And we know he loves football and all this shit. It would just be like, nah. If you love football that much and just genuinely wanted to play, you would have went to some of these B leagues that are going on out here right now, but you didn't. You asked it for 20 million and they didn't want to give it to you. So you said, nah, you're not going to play. So it doesn't really look like you care about football that much. It seems to be about money more or less. I'd rather you can make far more impact off the field right now, doing what you're doing, being this next generation's next. I'm not going to put you in that realm yet. Remains to be seen.
Do you think, Sam, man, that he just wanted to play football so bad that he kind of just got caught up and just like, what, I want to get back in the league. I'm starting to get older. I'm just going to, just go back into, I want to get back in the league. Obviously, we see that he wants to get back in there. Do you think that he gave up in this situation here? Do you think Colin Kaepernick got the short end of the stick here?
Yeah, absolutely got the short end of the stick. And I was thinking to myself, would there be a civil suit, or could there be an extension to this where he could possibly gain some more money? Because this is pennies. When you bring up pain and suffering, when you bring up time lost,
that's what I'm saying.
Blackball, like $5 million each. What's that? That's punter money. Shit.
Yeah, nowadays.
So it's disrespectful.
Right.
And it's all it took for you to shut up.
And then where's the change? You got to show us. I didn't see nobody say, okay, well, it got better here.
Right.
Cops are not doing this no more. No black men have been shot down. Police racial inequality has changed here. Just that we don't see those numbers. To me, this is just a publicity media stunt. Maybe he got weak. A lot of times, man, that struggle ain't easy. A lot of people paint it as, oh yeah, but blackball, death threats, different things like that. He couldn't play football. It probably got to a point where he just said, and I'm done with this, and I want to just move on with my life because for $5 million is pennies on the dollar.
It's fucking pennies.
Yeah,
and we're not even going to be disrespectful and even acting like that's money right now. Now, if somebody does, we'll challenge that all day long. You got a platform, let's work, because $5 million in this situation is pennies to the NFL. $10 million total is garbage. We'll see how far it goes. We love to have Colin Kaepernick on the platform, man. I don't see him doing too many interviews nowadays, which is very interesting to me as well, because it's like, why aren't you speaking? What are you waiting for?
Right.
So, I mean, very telling signs, man, but it remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. And when we see it, we're going to report it. You heard?
Yes, sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam. Man, we going in today on this Thursday. If you're listening to this Friday morning or wherever you're listening to this on Google Play, Spotify, or whatever podcast platform, all I ask you to do is just go ahead and text this or share this with one other person if you enjoy what you're listening to. Now, Sam, man, the story that you showed me about The Rock was real dope, and obviously the WWF or WWE now, and what's going on with that, man. I can't wait for you to speak about that, man.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm still a little bit of a viewer of the WWE now. Me and my son engage in it, even though we haven't really been watching it too much often. But the WWE, man, they're doing some things, and they're involving Kofi Kingston, Biggie Langston. I forgot my other brother's name. I'll get that up right now. But the New Day are a black trio in the WWE. Great brothers. They're very fun to watch, but they're playing the storyline right now with the New Day and Kofi Kingston being the WWE champion. Now, we all know the historic past, but the WWE and pro wrestling in general, and just the racial connotations coming behind it. But that being said, a culture and something that was definitely driven by black culture. We grew up loving it during the Attitude Era with The Rock and Stone Cold, and we fueled that. It was something that was great. So they playing the storyline right now about a black champion. So they get on Twitter and they start. This begins a dialogue, and The Rock happens to jump in. So I want to read this and let's talk about it. This is a very believable storyline in that it features Vince McMahon going to extraordinary lengths to stop a black man becoming champion. #SmackDown Live. And then to get another response. And Rock identifies as Samoan, not black. Then he goes on to say, cool. He identifies as Samoan in the WWE and was booked that way after Nation Days. Was booked, never proclaimed or titled as the first black champion. And hardcore wrestling fans don't name him as such as well. Thus, nobody calls him a black champion, a Noah family background angle. The Rock responds to this. Oh God, are you ready? Here we go. Glad I came across this, and I'll give you guys some context and truth. I identify as exactly what I am. Both. Equally proud, black and Samoan. And my friend, let me expand your thoughts a bit here. I transcended race in wrestling, so there was no booked that way, quote unquote. Thanks, guys.
My thing would be, what do you mean first that you transcend, race? Now, all right, first let's deal with the WWE situation. I want to start off with a quote from our man Ahmed Johnson when he was asked pretty much, in an interview. He said sometime in around 1996 or 1997, he was held back. He said he was supposed to be the champion, but he said it's possibly because, he's pretty much saying that he was supposed to be champion about 1996 and 1997, but there were other, Vince McMahon and other people pretty much didn't want him to be the champion, so they made other people, white men champions, around that time. But anyway, about that situation, we had plenty of people, D'Lo Browns, Ahmed Johnsons, Coco Bewares, plenty of people that we watch coming up.
Mark Henry.
You know, yeah, Mark Henry as that were dominating the culture, that were just as good as your Hulk Hogan's, your Macho Mans, but you never kind of seen them get the title as much, you know, as the white men. You know what I'm saying? You only have I think a small list of people who held the WWF and